Sammy Flex TV, 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 Sammy Flex.
He is the Ghana boy, but then obviously we know that he is not with us. What is happening to him? His name is D Black, and now that everybody is talking about COVID-19, a brother is obviously locked up somewhere in the US of A. Sammy Flex TV, we have that advantage to be talking to him, and the fact that he's released a new joint, a crazy hip hop tune, some one or two lines there, he would need us to understand it. And I know fans of D Black same way, you're also waiting to understand it. I don't know why the song is around Stone or Obour, but then we have him on Skype because we are using technology. We are still observing social distancing. He is in the US of area in Ghana. My name is Sammy Flex. This is the Real Talk on Sammy Flex TV. Let me say thanks to Digital Rasta Currency, same way to Richie Flex. Now let's go to the states where our man Black is. D Black, where are you hiding, bro?
A day America.
It is obvious. It is obvious. When did you get there?
I came for my media tour. I started on 5th March.
Okay.
So I've been here since the 5th of March. I was supposed to do about seven events, but I was able to do just 2 before the lockdown happened. So I did DC and Miami. So on my way to LA, then all of this happened, and everything had to be postponed. So before we could fly back to Ghana, they had grounded the flights. Then they closed the borders, and unfortunately, myself and some of my team members and other artists, some of us are still here. Even Sarkodie is here as well. So this is over.
Now, were you also to do a concert, or it was just the media tour alone?
No, it was a media tour. It was a media tour in 7 different states.
The experience, how is it like? Because I know being in your room in Ghana is obviously not going to be the same as being in your room elsewhere that you might not be used to the environment. How is the experience like for you there?
But it's different. It's difficult, man. The only thing I have is like some of my boys are around, so it's not as bad. But I'm not used to this, But it's essential, and we need to do this for our own good. So we're following the rules and preventive measures. So yakadem.
I understand. Now, I know you are also a boss to many organizations or many entities. Now that you are locked up there and business is also not functioning, how are you coordinating from your state where you are?
Everything is closed down. The offices are closed. The club is closed. The lounge is closed. So until further notice, but I communicate with my people just like I'm communicating with you, video calls and emails and messages and phone calls. It's really difficult, but we're coping.
Can I say it is out of this quarantine you are experiencing in the US of A that gave us Take Your Stone?
Yeah, it gave me time to think about other things. Yeah, you time to think about other things.
I see.
So it made me put a lot of things into perspective, Like when you look at So I'm here in America, and then I receive like my royalties for my music,
Mm-hmm.
in America from different countries, from Sweden, from Germany, from Italy, from US, from the UK. I'm receiving like royalties, and then I'm wondering why our system hasn't implemented these same things that had been promised us years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that in September it will be my 10th year in the music industry,
Okay.
and royalties haven't been paid in ever. I know, I know you work for a radio station. I know you understand that radio stations pay royalties to the bodies that collect.
Mm-hmm.
But why haven't they been disbursed the right way? It's not just about me, but it's about everybody that's involved in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
When you're submitting music, producers receive, depending on, I mean, the base is 50% for the writer and the producer.
Mm-hmm.
But depending on who the artist is, percentages can change. If royalties were paid properly and statements were presented, producers wouldn't be going hungry. Certain artists won't be going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get in the music industry, and when they don't have active hit records on the radio, they're hungry. Some of them can't pay their bills.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that the case?
Mm, mm, mm. Now, let's say you're telling us you are hitting 10 years in the music industry, and I also want to believe this is not the first time D Black has addressed an issue like this. So, the number of times that you've tried addressing such issues, what has been the responses from them?
Okay, so one time about 3 years ago, or about 4 years ago, I think in 2016 or 17, and somebody called me after a radio interview and said, "Oh, we're giving all the A-list artists 600 CDs for their royalties generated."
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked, I said, "You don't have a, where did you come up with 600 CDs? First of all, that's insulting. And secondly, where did you come up with 600 CDs? Where's the statement of airplay?"
Mm-hmm.
So, "Oh, we've just decided on a base rate. We are now setting up the system. So we've just decided on a base rate of 600 Ghana. So please send us your mobile money so we can send." I said, "What about the producer?" And
Mm-hmm.
the producer said, "Oh, all A-list producers is 300 cities."
Mm.
So I said, "Oh, so you are going to give all A-list producers 300 Ghana and A-list artists 600 Ghana?" And I said, "What about B-list artists?" He said, "Oh, 400." So I said, "Okay, so if you're giving art, are you giving art to be 1,002 or 600
Mm-hmm.
for them to share?" And he said, "Oh, it's 600." It was so disappointing, and it didn't make any sense to me why at that point in our careers detailed accounts couldn't be made for airplay. There's so many softwares, there's so many companies now, Good Music and so many other companies that track airplay all over the country now.
Mm-hmm.
The system is digital. Why hasn't Cosgar, Musica set up Gamro, set up these infrastructures so that musicians reap what they deserve? And when I say musicians, it's not just the person performing the song. It's the instrumentalist, it's the guitarist, it's the keyboard player, it's the producer on the on the computer, it's the songwriters, it's the artists. Everybody is involved.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the system this way?
Mm-hmm. 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 And ever since you decided.
About 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
I asked Obour, because Obour promised me this when he became music president. I was young at the time. I
Okay.
think I was just about a year or two in the industry,
Okay.
and he told me that the funding from the government was going to be used to set up the royalty collection society in Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
so that all these issues wouldn't come to play. And I think I spoke about this about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I tweeted with Chris Wado,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
he reached out to me, And then I said, bro, so why did you lie to me? Why did you tell me you were gonna do this and you've never spoken about this again? I've seen you several times. We've traveled and done shows in like different places, and you've never spoken about it. He said, "Oh, I should." He apologized and said, the government directed him to use the money for other things, not that. When he received the money, he was asked to do feasible studies in the music industry and some stuff. It didn't make any sense to me why the government would direct that the money should be used for that, but the most important thing wasn't done, you know. But that's what he told me. He said the government didn't allow him to use the money for the setting up of the Royalty Collection Society, but they asked him to do other things with the money.
I see. Now, after that, for instance, Obour will be talking for Musiga. How about Gamro, the likes of Rexoma and his charges? Have you also gotten the chance to meet them for a roundtable discussion?
I never have. I've never met Rexoma to discuss the issue surrounding Gamro, but I expect that as a body that's governing these affairs of creatives in the industry, it's their job to make everybody understand what's going on. But it looks like everybody's keeping mum or quiet over this issue and nobody's being as vocal to understand what exactly is going on. I don't think any musician in Ghana understands why royalties in Ghana are not being disbursed the way they should.
I see. Now, is it because of some of these challenges you have been facing with the board? That is why sometimes you just want to challenge his idea of becoming a member of parliament, especially after some tweets from you and Chris Waddell?
I've never challenged his MP ideas of. I never. All I said was that I feel like after holding a position like the president of Musica for 8 years and leaving post with so many unanswered questions, I feel like the right thing to do was to finalize things with Musica and the people that matter and have everybody put to bed all the rumors and put it out there publicly. Be as vocal. You see, when you talk to the people there, they say, "Oh, if you like, come to the office and come and check. If you like, come and do this." You know, we're not gonna come and do that. The way you are shouting, vote for me. When you're running for MP, shout the same way and show us exactly like the way you are posting campaign posters and telling people to rally behind you. That's the same way you should post all this information that you are telling us to come to the office to come check. Make it public. I don't have to come to the office to come check. You all know that Obour is running for MP. That's the same way that everybody should know that, oh, the 2 million that we got from the government these years ago, the money that we got from Dr. Amwa these years ago, the money that came from here was used for yada da 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 da, and then have proof to back it. When all those things are laid to rest, and everybody knows that you are clear and you're an honest person and you served the musicians of Ghana Association properly and honestly, nobody would even contest your eligibility to run as an MP. I myself will back you because I know you did a great job. No matter what hindrances came, I know you did a great job and you've proven to us that you did a great job. But all these things are still lingering in the air. Nobody knows what's going on. Somebody says you're this, somebody says you're that. And next thing we know, you're running for a higher position. Not everybody's going to be happy with it, you know? There was no accountability. The accountability wasn't made public.
Now, how about this argument that the information you want him to share might not be an information for the public? It is just for members and maybe members in good standing alone. Therefore, putting them out might not be the status quo.
But if you see, you call yourself the Musician Association of Ghana. You reach out to non-members to do performances. You reach out to me to perform. I'm not a member. So why would you reach out to me to perform at your events when I'm not a member? You know, we're all still musicians, even though we're not members. Some of us are not members because we don't believe in a union.
So Deep
What
Black,
what
Deep
what
Black
does?
at the moment is not a member of Musica.
No, I'm not.
I see.
Because let me ask you a question, right?
Please do.
Do you have an NHIS card?
Yes, I have. I have.
Because you know that when you have a card, you will receive some benefits in regarding your healthcare, right?
Anytime I go to the hospital, I might not pay the full, or I might not even pay anything at all.
Thank you very much. When you're a member of music, what do you get? Can you tell me?
I hear there are some welfare stuff for members.
No. What do you mean welfare?
Yeah.
You hear there's some welfare.
Yes.
Well, what can you explain, because I don't know about.
So, for instance, Musica sometimes helps the aged musicians, where they even have this project called the AMWEF. That is the aged musicians.
But if I'm not an aged musician, why am I a member of Musica?
These are legitimate questions, though.
Yeah,
but there are still some benefits they talk about, like traveling benefits, some 1 or 2 documents to back you as an artist, membership.
I've never been a member of Musica, but I've received a Musica letter before to travel about 10 years ago.
Because
you don't need to be a member.
You paid behind the scenes, or what? How did you get that letter?
No, I requested for it. I was nominated for the Channel O Awards, and when I was submitting my documents, that was my first time going to South Africa 10 years ago. Okay. I requested for a letter from Musica to state that I was a musician, and I got the letter because I am a musician.
Okay.
I didn't have to be a member of the union to get a letter stating that I'm a musician. So I don't know the benefits, and the most important thing is, it's not about help. When you say Musica helps aged musicians, forget about the help. What about what you deserve? What is your right? Your hard-earned money, your royalties, the system in place to make sure that even when you're not around, your kids reap what you sowed. Like it's done all over the world. What about that? If I die today and royalties are going into a certain account that can be accessed by my kids of age, what's going on with our system? It's not about help. We're asking for nobody's help. Nobody's asking for help. You give the artists and the musicians what they deserve. Then after that, help can come too, you know? But that's the most important thing. The systems are not in place.
So it's obvious that the Take Your Stone song is actually addressing some of these issues, where you even describe them as old dudes in the offices of Gamro and Musica.
Bro, the whole music industry has changed. We need fresh energy, people who understand what's going on. There's so much going on, from social media marketing to music conferences here that will help push to getting publicists, to understanding publishing, what ASCAP is, what BMI, what PRS is. These people, most of them don't understand these things, bro. The music industry has changed. Everything is different now. There are questions that I can throw at them that they won't be able to answer. But it shouldn't be that case. We should be learning from them.
I'm sure the next question will be, since we know they don't know, why are we also not pushing our ways into these offices so we can control affairs and make things happen? Like people like maybe D Black and your likes.
Okay, so to be honest with you, for you to run Musica and Cosga and institutions like Gamro and so on, you'd have to be a very selfless person who dedicates himself, and that's the honest truth. You have to dedicate yourself to that job. I have too much going on for me to be able to run any of these entities. I have private businesses. I'm an artist. I have a label, a club, like so many things going on. So I wouldn't have the time, energy, or the capacity to run any of those entities. However, there are other people that I know who are willing to put their back behind it but nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody's vocal enough. Nobody's open enough to come explain to us this is what's going on so we can understand. I don't know what's going on. I don't think Sarkodie knows what's going on. Chatawale knows what's going on. I don't think Stoneboy or RTB, EL. Nobody knows what's going on.
I get. All right, so we are still talking to D Black. He is locked down in US of A after going on a media tour. He could not finish. I have a tall list of places that he was supposed to go. Actually, the tour started from February and he was supposed to end in July. But because of this, he is locked down, still managing his own business. Now, let's come back to Ghana. I know there are still some artists on his label. What are the plans so far, Nina Richie and the rest of them, D Black?
Okay, so me and Nina just finished a joint album together, a rap album. So it's supposed to drop in April, but I don't think it will because of the whole COVID situation. Maybe next month we'll put it out if the situation comes down. Sefa just released her new single about a month ago, and Miss Wilson is in the studio currently. Me and her were recording last night. We're working on her projects as well. So right after I get off this with you, I'll be talking to her. She's finishing up her music as well. So these are the three artists that Black Avenue Music is focusing on.
I see. Now, in these times, is Black Avenue Music making some money from streaming, especially now that performances are not happening? Everybody's online streaming. How is it like for your label?
I mean, revenue from streaming will peak, but if you understand the game, you know that you only see revenue after 4 months. And I think we've been up to a month since this quarantine situation happened where revenue in streaming and video streaming has gone up. So you wouldn't know till after 4 months.
So there are good news ahead, looking at how numbers are going.
Amen to that.
Some good news ahead like that. Now, still, let's still pay attention to Take Your Stone. I know on this particular tune, D Black was very raw. The ones I've listened to, the street one, the F's and the N's, and he was just straight like that. Were you addressing some one or two issues that have been said about you, about D Black, music, business? Can I say that you addressed some of them one way or the other on the song?
That's why it's called Take Your Stone.
So rich people are to pick their stones from this. Rich people are to pick their stones from this.
Know, I mean, when you say take your stone, is who the cap fits. You know, the people whose names that I mentioned or the institutions whose names I mentioned were people that I was talking to directly, which was Music and Cause Guy Gamro, the president of the former president of the union, you know, and then the current. Who's the current president of the union now?
I hear Bessa Simons is now acting.
Why acting? What happened to the election?
Because there hasn't been a successful election yet. There were some legal issues they had to take care of.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I was addressing all those people. I mentioned whose names I wanted to mention, and whatever else you hear, who the cap fits, he or she can wear it.
Did I hear a line like you saying some artists boasting of their making money of shows, and that even that money you don't think it's any money to boast of?
No, I didn't say that. What are you come to add?
No, I'm not asking about anything. I just heard something like you claim you're making money from shows and blah blah blah. Maybe my hip hop skill was not on like that, but I heard something similar.
I said, what you make of a show? That's an Onyx flip. That's what I'm saying.
So what did you mean with that line? What did you mean?
Okay, so I spoke about diversifying your brand. You know, not just being a recording artist, but do other things with your brand. So I
Okay.
was trying to explain that even I might not have a hit song,
Mm-hmm.
but I've diversified my brand to the point that what you're making from performing when
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on stage with you performing, I've opened a club that generates that same revenue for me. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. So there is no way any artist can boast to D Black that you are performing and D Black is not performing because you're also making that money from Onyx.
Yeah.
Exactly so. Then this stone we need to distribute it. We would need to distribute this stone very very well for anyone to get it. In fact, guys, if you've not listened to the
Just
song, what you have to do is to
pieces
run
of
on
stone.
run online right now. That is Black Avenue Music, their YouTube channel. The song is there because he's locked up. He's not been able to shoot a video for that yet, but I know very soon when he's out, a video will come. But then there is the audio slide for you to enjoy. Please, you need to understand some of these things even better. Now, Black, away from us, did you follow the Asem Sarkodie Ball J issues? Because I know you are in the hip hop industry very well. Did you follow them?
Yes, I follow them very, very much so.
And what will be your remarks? What will be your commentary after all said and done? Sarkodie releasing this, Bulgy also releasing that. What will be your commentary on what happened?
It took me by surprise. That's the first thing. Everything that happened took me by surprise. I don't know what the genesis of it all was. I know Sakurai and Asem had issues dating like 8 years back,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
but I didn't think it was that big of an issue till I had. At first, when I heard was Sarkodie's Sub Zero,
mm-hmm.
when I heard that, I was like, "Hey, Asem Beni," you know, no pun intended. And then I heard Sam's freestyles, and then I had Boje too, but I didn't understand what exactly was going on. So I'm waiting for Sarkodie to say something so that I could get a full understanding of what exactly was going on, because I don't understand how Boje got involved, and um, and then why Asem chose this time to pop up. I don't really get what's going on. But however, in our field, hip hop is a very competitive sport. So it was very interesting to hear everybody and their clever, witty bars and their punchlines and the different rap skills, things that I hadn't heard from them in a long time. So it was very interesting for me.
I see. But have you taken time to ask any of them, maybe, guys, what's happening?
Boje messaged me and I was like, "Hey, my brother, went from all this fire," and then his reply was, "Bro, I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it for the culture." That's what he said to me. I have no contact with Asem, so I haven't spoken to him. And
Okay.
Saga is one of my favorite rappers in Ghana, so I tweeted and I said, "This is fire." I didn't know to Saga. That's what I said to him, and then he just laughed at it. So I'm just waiting to hear more. Everybody needs to be vocal about how they feel, especially as hip hop artists, because we're a vocal genre of music, and it's a competitive sport. As long as nobody takes it personally,
Mm-hmm.
it takes it to the level of family and spouses and kids and personals. I think it's interesting, and it's good for the culture.
Now that you have also added Take Your Stone, can I say it is a way that the hip hoppers are reviving their trade? Maybe if they were slowing down, now they've seen this is the time for us to come up. Now everybody is online streaming, everybody is listening. Let's revive the hip hop game.
Yeah, I feel like this is the right time for us to, because it's an important genre of music, regardless of whatever's popular at the moment. Rap or hip hop will always be there. Hip life, rap, hip hop, everything concerning lyrical dexterity from artists will always be here. So I feel like, yes, as rappers, everybody needs to put their 2 cents in. It's important.
I see. I want to believe if the lockdown, especially the port, if it extends to the next 3 months, D Black will not be very frustrated in US of A.
Angamewu,
But it looks like, bro. It looks like.
3 months.
Yeah.
I'll definitely come home next month. The airlines have given us a date, so
Okay.
um, definitely be home next month. If not earlier, if this thing doesn't go earlier, I'll definitely be next month. So we pray for life, and we pray for God's blessings so that we can safely come home. I don't like traveling for such long periods.
I know. You are a business guy doing your runs here, so I'm so shocked that you have taken it so calm because guys like Papi Kojo, he's always ranting online, but until today I never knew you were even locked. You were even locked up there.
Yeah, I'm locked up, man. I'm locked up. I'm not as flamboyant on social media as Papi Kojo. He's always fooling, and I like him. He's a funny guy. He's an amazing character, man. I like him. I like his music too.
I know. Well, Black, thank you so much. We are still enjoying Take Your Stone, and we are trying to do the distribution. We'll make sure we'll distribute it to everyone who deserves. Yeah. Everybody who deserves a portion in there. But the one I saw was a very big stone, a huge one. The one on the flyer. It looked like a diamond, bro. It looked like a diamond stone. So we are still going to break it into pieces and we share to the people. Black, any message to fans? Still talk to people. Now that we are supposed to take some precautionary measures, to give them a message. Because where you are, it's an epicenter at the moment. I know. Tell us something. What we should do, right, bro?
Please, I really want to. I saw a video of some people who didn't believe that coronavirus is real. Mm-hmm. I feel like education must go out there more through some of us. The coronavirus is real. COVID-19 is real. Please take precautionary measures. Wash your hands as much as you can from morning till night. Stay indoors as directed by the government. Use hand sanitizers. Remain clean. If you have face masks, please use them when you step out, even briefly. Stay home as much as possible, so the stepping out isn't really an option. But if you have to step out, please wear a face mask and gloves. And this is real. People are dying, especially where I am. The numbers keep rising. It's crazy. And we're all human beings, and we're all prone to the virus. So please take these precautionary measures and please stay home.
I see.
It is real.
Are you likely to release another single before the whole COVID will be over, or now you would want to wait for everything to die out completely?
I'll be giving you plenty. Next week, maybe you might get another one. Because now time is. I'll be giving you a lot of content, especially hip hop content. I haven't done that in a very long time. It's been just once in a while commercial records, and really my stronghold is in hip hop. So this time I'm going to give you guys a lot of hip hop music.
I know. And once again, congrats. The flow was tight, man. Very tight flow.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Black, for talking to us. Let's do this again some other time.
Thank you too, boss.
Yes, boss. That was D Black there, and he is locked down in the US of A. But after talking to him, a brother is fine. And of course, if you've not listened to the song, Take Your Stone, go online, get it, listen to it, and see who he was punching in there. I see this as a revival of hip hop. All the hip hop guys are up. They are now out and about, throwing punches here and there. Go and enjoy it, and let's do more. I told you we have more for you on this channel, so why don't you subscribe for all the wonderful videos coming up. My name is Sammy Flex. Let me say thanks to Digital Rasta, Currency, Richie Flex, and of course to the man from Nephi Visuals, helping us with our set designs and more. For real, Mesa, we out of here.